Amanda Tennant, and welcome to my Osteoporosis Pilates Mat series. All of the exercises that I've included within these workouts are appropriate for those who have low bone density, who are at high risk or have a diagnosis of osteopenia or osteoporosis. It's really important that people with low bone density avoid a couple of positions. The first one being spinal flexion. We do not want to come into positions or exercises where we do a lot of rounding through the back, and that includes our posture. So it's very important to pay really close attention to your alignment and to stay lifting up and out of the body. That helps take excess pressure off of the spine. The other position we want to avoid or movement is coming into extreme ranges of spinal twisting or spinal rotation. So everything that we do in these routines will avoid coming into the flexion, coming into the rotation, and especially coming into both at the same time. It's really, really important for keeping your body safe. So the most common fracture sites in those with low bone density are of the spine, the hips, and the wrist. We're going to take special care to strengthen all of those areas in a really safe and appropriate way. Of course, with Pilates, we'll also be strengthening the core, working on our alignment, and we'll be focusing on our breathing, which when Pilates breathing is done appropriately, it actually applies really healthy stress to the ribs connecting around into our back, and we begin to strengthen the back as well. So it's great for people that have low bone density for keeping the bones strong in a really safe way. We're going to be using a couple of props through these workouts. So the first thing I have here is just an ordinary beach towel. You can use a beach towel, maybe a smaller, like a thinner blanket, or even like a bath towel. But I do want you to have something if you can. So what I've done with my beach towel, lengthwise, I folded it into half and then half again. So it was folded into fourths, so it's going to line up right underneath my spine as we lay on our backs. And then I halved the whole thing. And I'll explain a little bit more as we go into the workouts why we have that and how to position yourself on it. The other thing that I want you to obtain for these workouts is a couple of water bottles. So you need 2. And I still have water in these. You want them to match so that they're the same size. We have water in them so that we don't crush them when we press into them. We'll be pressing into these to help strengthen the wrist. If you don't have a couple of matching water bottles, you could also use a set of small balls like medicine balls, weighted balls, or even tennis balls would work as well. Whenever we come down or come back up from the floor, we want to make sure we're doing what's called a log roll. We're literally going to be rolling like a log, like one unit. And we do that so we avoid those movements of flexion and twisting through the spine. So I will show you that as we go into each workout, and I will remind you. Also, as we transition through that roll, we're going to do it on an inhalation. The inhalation is going to give us more internal support. Again, we want to always be protecting these areas that are a bit more vulnerable to injury when we have low bone density. So I am excited to get started. I will see you in your workout. Thanks. Bye. Hi there, welcome to my Advanced Osteoporosis Pilates Mat Workout. I've got my props. I've got 2 matching water bottles set to either side of the mat, and I also have my beach towel. So my beach towel has been halved lengthwise, halved again, so it was in quarters, and then I folded it in half. I have it laying down on the mat so that my spine can line up against it. The whole time I'm on my back, I'm going to have my tush, my derriere is going to be on the exercise mat. It's not going to be on the towel. It's going to help us keep some space underneath the small of the back. And we want to avoid coming into too much spinal flexion whenever we're working with someone who has low bone density. Okay, we're going to get started lying down. We want to move as one unit, so we'll do a log roll. We're going to come down onto the side. I've got some space here because, again, I don't want my bottom to end up on the towel. And then as I breathe in with an inhalation, I'm going to move as one unit onto my back and settle in. So take a moment here. You're going to get yourself comfortable. You want to get your spine aligned on your towel or blanket, and we want to find a lot of length. So I want your head, the back of your skull, all the way down into the small of the back to be on your towel. And I want your bottom to be down on the mat. So the chest is going to spread really wide here, and we're going to take our bottles, or if you have a set of balls, you can use tennis balls or small weighted medicine balls. We're going to bring them down long at the sides, and you'll place them just underneath the palm of each hand, so that as you press gently down into the bottles or balls, we begin to strengthen the wrist. And we want to take care that the wrists remain in a long neutral position. We don't want TPs, we don't want them sagging, we want them nice and straight. That's going to be healthiest for the joints. We're going to slide the shoulders down long away from the ears and draw the chin gently down in towards the throat. So there should be space underneath the back of your neck. It should not be pressed into your towel. From here, we're coming into a level 3 piston exercise to warm up. I'm going to ask that you walk your feet together and then begin to glue the feet and ankles and knees and thighs. Just press them together so we start to activate the inner thighs. I want you to draw the belly button down and in as if you had a heavy brick seated on top of your belly and pelvic region. That tummy is going to draw down and in to activate the deep belly muscles. Please maintain a neutral spine here. I do not ever want you smashed down into your towel with your low back. I want you to be flat on top, like you're have a little tabletop here. Like you could put a hot cup of tea here and it's going to stay in its mug. It's not going to spill in any direction. Nice and flat, tight tummy. As you breathe in, both legs will lift to 90 degrees. We don't want to bring the knees past 90 degrees because, again, we don't want to flatten and smash the low back into the mat. As we breathe out, we set the feet down very quietly and gently, light pressure. We inhale to lift up, exhale to lower down. If you need more stomach work with this exercise, you simply take the feet out a little bit further away from your body as they touch down to the mat. So the further the feet arc out away from your body, the more stomach work you're going to feel, the more strengthening. However, I never want the belly to pop. I don't want you to lose that stomach work, and I never want the back to arch further away from your towel. So exhaling to lower, inhale to lift. Let's try a couple more, please. Last time, we're going to lower down and then lift back up. We're going to change this exercise a little bit into butterflies. So the toes will stay together and the knees are going to open wide apart. So it's as if the knees and the legs form butterfly wings. They're spreading open. We have external rotation at the hips. You keep the tummy tight, you keep space underneath the low back, and you continue to press down into your water bottles. You're going to inhale to touch down. I'm changing your breathing. You're going to exhale to come up, and then we switch here. So the knees come together and the toes open. We inhale to lower down, we exhale to lift, and we continue alternating back and forth. So not only do we start to warm up the belly here, we start to strengthen those deep stomach muscles, but we also start to move the hips from external rotation to internal rotation. So we start to lubricate and warm up the hip joints as well. And touching down. We're going to do one more in each direction. So one more time with a butterfly and one more time knock-kneed. Lift it back up, come to parallel, glue the legs together, and just set them down very gently. Good job. Okay, so from here we're coming into the 100. We'll lift one leg at a time into a tabletop position. So you can choose to do this from a tabletop, and as you take the feet a little bit further away from you, you should feel more stomach engagement. But if you're ready, I'd like you to start to straighten the legs. And it may not mean they come totally straight. Perhaps it's just a long leg with a soft knee. If that's the case, then go ahead and keep them glued together in parallel. If you can take the legs all the way out nice and straight, I'd like for you to put your Pilates style stance in your feet, which is a V with the heels connected and then the balls of the feet separated by a few inches. So, just like we talked about with tabletop position, if the legs are to the sky, this is a little easier on the belly. As you lower the legs down, you get more tummy work. So find an appropriate challenge for you. Find something that feels good. We're gonna be there for a while, so find something that you can hold. The arms will float up off of your bottles. You're still gonna continue reaching long out through the fingertips. We begin breathing in for 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. Continue hollowing out the belly. And if you've got nice straight legs, go ahead and let those inner thighs engage, draw them together. And breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really strong arms here. And we're halfway through. Keep going. Keep the chest open wide, collarbones reaching away from one another, and really energize legs. Let's try a couple more. Draw the tummy down and in, stay neutral. Take your exhale, and then just relax down completely. Good job. From here, we're going to move into single leg circle. So we will take the leg up to 90 degrees. We'll straighten the right leg up into the air. So you have a couple of options here. You can keep this left leg bent if that feels better for you. Just please be sure you're not smashing the low back down. If you're able to, you're going to extend that leg long across the room and move it in line with the nose. So I want it in the center of the body. This right leg, again, if it is bent, that's okay. Just keep it parallel. If it can go straight, I'd like you to add that little turnout. Press down through the palms of the hands, and as you breathe in, we will cross the body. We're going to form a small circle on the ceiling. So you are pretending that your foot is a marker here, and you're drawing circles on the sky. But all the while, the pelvis is not allowed to rock around. It stays very still. We're going to stay on this leg and go the other direction. So now we open up and around, up and around. And as you make these circles, the larger the circle, then the tougher this becomes. And we're going to bend the leg, draw it down and in, and we'll switch. So we'll start by drawing the left knee in. We take it to the sky. Perhaps it's bent, then it stays parallel. If it can straighten, it turns out. You also have the option of keeping this leg that's down, your supporting side, bent or long and in the center of the body. So when you're ready, the circles begin crossing the body with an inhale, exhale up and around. Inhale and exhale. Nice tight, tight tummy. Like you've got a bowling ball sitting on this belly. It's just hollowing. And switch directions. Inhale, open, exhale up and around. Maybe one side's a little easier than the other. That's not uncommon. And then relax, bend the knee, set both feet down about hip distance apart, and we're going to come into single leg stretch. So again, nice control here. Lift the leg from the stomach. We draw it up to 90 degrees. The opposite hand comes across the leg to the outside of the leg, and then your outside hand comes to the outside of the ankle if it can reach. If it doesn't reach that far, that's okay. I don't want you to round up and curl that spine. I want you to stay long, flat, and wide through the upper body. The opposite leg will straighten and reach either to the ceiling for less challenge, or it will lower down and reach to the wall in front of you for more challenge. As you breathe in, we pulse the leg in twice, and as you breathe out, we switch arms and legs. So breathing in and out. Reach that opposite leg long across the room. Keep a little bit of a turnout in it. Inhale in and exhale, switch. One more each way. Tight tummy. And let both legs come down in for double leg stretch. Hands stay to the outsides of the ankles. Again, a little bit of space underneath the small of the back. So we're not curling and rounding into a tight little ball. We're keeping this a long extended ball. As you inhale, the arms reach overhead, the legs come out long. Again, the higher to the ceiling, the easier this is. And as you exhale, the arms will circle and just draw the knees into the chest. Inhale, stretch it out long, pull that belly into control, and exhale, come back into your starting position. Inhale like you're unfolding, like you're getting stretched to the side, to the front and back of the room. And then exhale, just coming back into center. 2 more. Zip up the belly. And we're moving into single straight leg stretch. The right leg will come to the ceiling and it's going to turn out. I want you to grab behind the thigh. Again, I don't want you rounding and lifting up off of your towel. I want you to stay heavy into the towel. So hands come behind the thigh. Opposite leg will again stretch to the ceiling for less work. It stretches down out in front of you for more work. Both legs have a little bit of a turnout. We inhale and pulse the leg in twice, find a bit of a stretch, and exhale to switch. Inhale and exhale. Try to keep the muscles of the face, tops of the shoulders really soft here. 1 more each way. Just relax. Just draw the legs in, but just kind of relax here. Give them a small break. Take a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale and sigh it out through the mouth. 1 more time. In through the nose. And sigh it out. Okay, we're coming into double straight leg stretch. This one's a lot of work. So the legs will come up to the ceiling. If you can get the legs straight, I again would like a little bit of a turnout. So we have a small V in the feet. We're going to press the hands down into your bottles or your balls. You're going to maintain neutral, really tight tummy. And as you breathe in, the legs lower only as far as you can control them. And as you breathe out, they lift back up. So again, we don't want the body curling up, the upper body curling up off the mat. We do not want the low back arching further away from the mat as you lower the legs, but we don't want it to flatten and smash into the mat as you raise the legs either. So staying really controlled and still. Inhale, exhale up. Let's try 1 more. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Bend the knees and set them down to the mat. Nice job. Okay, let's open the feet, sit bone distance apart and parallel. We'll come into our neutral bridges here. So a neutral bridge means we never flatten and roll through the spine. We do not want to do any exercises rolling through the spine when we have low bone density. It's not safe. So we move the whole body as one piece. We'll press the hands down into the balls or bottles, let the shoulders drop down and wide, press through the heels of the feet, and inhale, squeeze the body up. So you're using your hamstrings and your buns and your belly, staying really flat across the hips. And as you lower down with your exhale, only the tailbone heads down. Everything stays really long here, tummy is tight. We do not roll through the spine. As one piece, we inhale to lift up. And as we exhale, we lower down. Okay, we're gonna hold the third one up. Inhale up, just continue to breathe naturally here. We're going to try to add a march. As we march the legs, the pelvis has to stay still. So from the top of one hip bone to the other hip bone, we want it flat across. So we will try to pick up one leg without shifting the pelvis, set it back down really gently, pick up the other leg, set it back down, and then with an exhale, lower the tailbone down, moving as one unit. On the next repetition, inhale, press up. We'll start leading with the opposite foot. So my left leg comes up. I stabilize over on the opposite side. I don't let the pelvis drop and bobble around. So I draw my tummy in, and I use the muscles along the back side of the body, the back core, and I lower down. And repeat, inhale, push it up, leading with the right foot this time. So it's like a very controlled, slow, marching movement while you're in bridge. And lower down. Just one more, please. Press it back up. Start with the left, take your time. It should be steady. And switch sides. Lower back down in parallel, and lower down as one piece. Oh, good job. Okay, we're gonna get rid of bottles or balls. You can set them to the side. We are finished with them for the rest of this routine. And as we roll to the side to press up, you'll use your inhalation. So inhale, roll as one piece, just like we were bridging as one piece, and then press up out of that posture, and we can get rid of the towel too. So you can just kind of toss that to the side. Okay, we're going to come up onto all fours, our hands and knees. We're going to spread wide through the hands and line the shoulders up directly over the wrist. We're going to line the hips up directly over the knees. Spread wide through the fingers. Soften the elbow joints so that these hollows here, you can see the hollows are going to face one another, like they're looking at each other. Okay, no rainbows. We don't want to round and flex the spine. We're going to keep the body really long like a tabletop. I'm still lifting up through my tummy. My shirt might be hanging, but my muscles are not. So I'm going to keep pulling up inside my body to support the back here. As I breathe in, I'm going to look up in front, let the sit bones rise, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and as I exhale, I come back to tabletop. So not into a rainbow shape, but I'm still drawing the belly up into the body. Inhale, looking up in front, and then pull it back in. Just one more time. Inhale, looking up, pull it back in. Okay, we're going to walk the knees and feet together. Take the hands slightly out in front of your shoulders. We're going to drop down into a knee down plank. So the hips shift forward. If you can, you're going to raise the feet. This is a little bit tougher, so if that's too much, keep the feet planted. We're coming into 3 Pilates push-ups. I want a nice long line here from the top of the head all the way down to the knee, and I want the belly pulled in. As we bend the elbows, they're going to bend narrow to the body. We inhale and bend, just take it to where you can, and exhale, push up and out. 2 more, nice tight tummy, and push up and out. Last one, and push evenly through both arms. Relax the feet down. Now lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Okay, we're coming into swimming. Go ahead and open the legs a little bit wider than hip width. They may even come as wide as your exercise mat if that's more comfortable. The wider they are, it becomes a little bit easier and less pressure on the low back. We're going to take the arms out overhead. So they're going to stretch out. We'll rest down onto the forehead, and we're going to draw the belly up into the back. As you breathe in, I want you to raise the right arm, the left leg, and the head. So we just float here. It's like you're hovering off of the mat, and I want you to make sure that you are lifting the arm from your shoulder blade, and you're lifting your leg from your tush, tight tummy, and lower down. So we're going to switch opposite arm and leg. Inhale the left arm, the right leg, and just hold. Just hold and breathe. There should be no back pain here, but you are working muscles all along the spine and back side of the body. And lower down. Now we're going to flow with the breath. We're going to inhale up, just switching arm and leg each time. Exhale it down and inhale up. And exhale down. One more each way, please. Last time. And then we're going to float all of the limbs up together. Inhale, float everything up, including the head. Exhale, set it down. 2 more times. Inhale, float up. Exhale, lower down. 1 more. And lower down. Now we're going to float everything up, and we're going to flutter for a 5 count. Inhale and exhale. It'll look like this. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more times. Last one. Relax it down. Just take a breath here. As we use an inhale, we're going to roll on to the side. And hopefully you're somewhat lined up along the back edge here. If not, go ahead and take a moment, get your shoulders and your hips all lined up along the back edge of the mat. You may prop up onto your hand. You can rest down long on the arm if you prefer. You can bring both arms to the front and grab a small cushion to place underneath the head. Whatever's most comfortable for you, that your spine can stay relaxed. I don't want to see shoulders creeping up and jaws tensing. And then we're going to take our feet and slide them forward. So from here, we're going to reach long through this top leg, float it up off of the bottom leg so it's in line with the hip with a little bit of a turnout. So it's not a big, huge ballerina turnout, just a little bit of a turnout. We're going to draw the tummy in. So you are welcome to rest the hand down in front of your body here to assist you with balance. You want to try not to rely and hang on to that hand. If you don't need it, then you can bring your hand either to your hip or you can bring it up behind the head for even more challenge. So we're going to come into big circles. As you do this, you want to take care that the hips stay stacked. They're going to want to rock and roll all over. They're not allowed to do that, so nice tight tummy. As you inhale, we'll bring that top leg forward, and you're going to lift it up. You're going to draw as large of a circle as you can. We generally don't have as much range coming to the back, so take care that you're not falling in and out of this movement. Really controlled here. So we inhale to lift it up and around all the way. Inhale, so you just take it as large as you can. We have 2 more. Each time it's as if those heels are just touching, like they're making a little V shape as you pass through. And they may or may not physically touch, but that's the angle, that's the turnout and the direction they're heading. So we stop here, we're going to reverse our circles. So we inhale behind and then up and around. So not only is this a whole lot of core work, a whole lot of tummy work, but it also really starts to open up the hip joints and to lubricate those joints. So maintain that turnout. That's going to help you work up into the tush a little bit differently. 2 more times. Keep it all really comfortable. Up and around. 1 more. Okay, we're going to take the legs a bit more parallel and we're going to line them up along the back edge of the mat. So again, we're more of a long line here. We're going to bring this hand just in front of the body, and as you exhale, you're going to try to float the legs up off of the mat. So we work into the side body, and then inhale, either hover for more challenge or rest them down. So we exhale, pull up, and again, you can pick your arm position for how much work you'd like, for whatever's appropriate for you. I'm shaking, can you see that? We're gonna exhale and squeeze it up. Maybe they come a little higher. And melt down and exhale, squeeze it up. Let's try 3 more, please. Exhale, squeeze, keep drawing the navel into the spine. Last one, squeeze it up. And then relax down. We're going to press up from here and we'll switch over to the other side. So we'll start lining up along the back edge of the mat so that we have the shoulder and the hip and even the feet. Everything just can line up so you get a nice long straight line, and then we will bring the legs forward to the front corner or front edge of the mat. And you have choices. You can rest the hand in front, to the hip, behind the head, wherever you are. Take care that you're releasing that shoulder, that shoulder down long from your ear. So a little bit of a turnout here, really energized through the leg. We're going to start with our large circles. So we begin with an inhale to the front of the room. We lift up to the ceiling, and then taking care to keep the hips stacked and everything really contained and controlled as we circle the leg up and around, opening through that hip joint. You want to take at least a full breath with each circle. If you need a second breath, then please take it. That's fine. Don't hold the breath. But it's just slow and controlled. We want the movement to be very purposeful. Last time in this direction, up and around, and then we'll reverse. 5 circles in the opposite direction. Inhale to initiate your circle. We will complete the circle with your exhalation. Try to keep the face really soft and relaxed. Again, this hand is here for support if you need it, for balance support, but you're trying not to rely on it. You want to take care that you're not really pressing into it and using it a lot. If you find that you're pressing into this hand a lot, then perhaps just make a smaller circle. Try a smaller range. Relax here. So the legs will scoop back so they're more in line with the body, and we're going to make them parallel. And now we're going to exhale and start to lift the legs up off of the mat. As you inhale, you can choose to hover for more work, or you can rest them all the way down if you need to. Exhale up and inhale down. So coming into the obliques, but we want to continue drawing the navel into the spine. We're also activating our deep stomach muscles, transverse abdominis. We have 4 more. Exhale, squeeze it up. Good. For more challenge, you can change that hand if you need it. Exhale. Last 2 times, please. And relax. Great job. We are all finished. If you have any questions on any of the exercises that we did in this routine, you can always feel free to send me an email at Amanda's Corner. It's CORENER @ charter.net. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.